Yo, yo, yo. What up, everybody? What up, what up, what up? How's it going, y'all? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Big up Pierre. Big up Maximum Potential. How y'all doing, bro? How y'all doing? Hold up, hold up. How's everybody doing? Hope y'all doing all right. Hope y'all doing all right. Thank you for the like. Thank you for the like. Yeah, listen, like the stream on the way in. If you like it, helps more people see it. The stream, more people join. You feel me? I appreciate everybody being in here right now. I appreciate, shout out everybody who's in here right now. Today, we're just going to go over a bit of the transfer news because I haven't been live for a couple of days, I think since Wednesday. So it's good. It's good not streaming every day because I feel like if I try to stream every day about transfer news, it'd be difficult. But there's definitely stuff to talk about. Definitely a lot of stuff to talk about. Obviously, as you can see, one of the biggest things clearly has been the news about. Hold up. You know what? Let's do this. Because I have a lot of news to go through. There's actually a lot. So let's do it. World champs. Yes, sir. You already know, man. World champs, baby. World champs. All right, let's go. Let's go right here, bro. All right. Bet. Okay. So we got a couple. So we got this news, right? This is the news we got a couple days ago. There you go. I think that's better for you guys. So Chelsea and Arsenal are in the race to sign Xavi Simons. Chelsea sees Simons as a potential replacement for Nkunku. It's understood suitors are hoping to agree a fee of 56 M's. Yo, C, what up, my guy? How you doing, man? Can I take it like a 3-0? Bro, I told everybody the world is welcome for stopping this PSG super team, by the way. Y'all welcome. Y'all are very welcome, bro. Yeah, bro. Listen, man. This is bro, I've been through a whole week of work. I need my glasses. I don't see very concerning. We'll speak about that. We'll speak about that. We'll speak about everything. We'll also speak about that, bro. But big up Palmer, big up Benny. We're gonna get to the incomings first, and then we're gonna go outgoings. Lewis live. Listen, shout out Lewis, but I have things to do today, so I need to do my stream whenever I can do my stream. You know what I'm saying, bro? I'm doing excellent, bro. I'm doing excellent. I'm still riding the high of watching the trophy lift live. You know what I'm saying? I'm still riding that high. Ain't nothing changing that for me. Ain't nothing changing that for me, bro. But yeah, bro. We got the Xavi Simons links. Now, I think for me personally, I want to know what do y'all think? What do y'all think about Xavi Simons, bro? I want to hear what y'all think about Xavi Simons. Let me know. What do y'all think about this, brother? Because to be honest, I don't like speaking on players too much or downplaying them when I haven't seen them. Like I've seen some people say, you know, that he's a really good player. I've seen other people say, you know, he's just another Nkunku. He's like a positionless, you know, 9.5. Because listen, a lot of people say, you know, when Joao Pedro came in, 9.5, it's going to be an issue, et cetera, et cetera. Again, I haven't watched enough. So I don't know. I don't know. Great, Ray Allen, pause. I'm not bringing up that comment, but I see what you're saying. You are live. Yo, Pierre W, man. I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate that. I've not watched him play. Yeah, that's my. He's so good on the ball, such a good ball carrier. Yeah, because it seems like, well, obviously we're gonna speak about this as well with Rodgers, right? It seems like if we're looking at Rodgers, then he's also a ball carrier. You feel me? So it looks like we're looking for that left 10, a bit more of a ball carrier. I really hope he doesn't go to the Arsenal. So you know, actually, Mo, this is good, interesting because, you know what? Let me do this. Let me do this because I think there's a lot of news going on at the moment, and let me see if I could get them all on screen at the same time because I think that's going to be a bit important for us to kind of try to understand everything. So, all right, let me open link, a new tab. I'm gonna try to get them all on screen at the same time because we're gonna like these are all linked to each other, so I might as well just have it all on screen at the same time, bro. I might as well. Let me see. All right, where is because I need to find, because we're also linked to Rodgers, so I think that that's important to bring up as well. Okay. Not better than Morgan Rodgers. I agree with that. He's the one who looks like he's gonna cry every 5 minutes. I'm gonna hold that. Yeah, hold that, bro. All right, let me see. Where is it, bro? Okay. Let's oh, where is it, man? I just had it. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. Because I'm trying to get all of these on screen at the same time. Because we need to talk about all these anyways at the same time. So just give me a moment. And then the last one. So we do have to speak about this one because this is also news that just dropped, bro. This news just dropped. So there we go. I think this is solid. I think this is solid. Let me see in the layout. Okay. Can y'all see this? Can y'all see this? I think y'all can see it, right? This is good because these are the things that we need to talk about. I want to put them all on screen at the same time because these are all linked together. You feel me? These are all linked together. So we might as well talk about them at the same time. Yo, big up Santiago, bro. On par with Rodgers. I've watched him a lot. See, that's what I'm saying, JJ. I haven't watched him, so I don't know. So obviously, we're linked with the left side in 10, right? I think like maybe a week ago, we were linked to Eze. I'm doing business thoughts on my wicket, by the way. Shout out to him. I hope he's successful when he leaves Arsenal, but he's part of the ops now, bro. Perfect one-man replacement for Nkunku and Felix. Listen, so all right. So this just came in, by the way. I think a couple minutes ago. Yeah, like and this morning. Chelsea has spoken with Eze's agents, right? But he wants a big salary, which surprised them. You feel me? So this is what we're gonna do. So he wants a big salary, right? And we learned that his release clause must be paid in a single payment. Interest remains, but any move by Chelsea to sign Eze now seems unlikely. So just get that out of the way, because this news dropped today, and it dropped before. This news dropped before I made the thumbnail. If this news dropped after I made the thumbnail, I probably would have made it a bit different. But here we are. So it is what it is. All right. So Eze, again, hold on, let me remove the comment. Eze, any move by Chelsea to sign Eze now seems unlikely. So we got to keep this in mind. All right, boys. It's unlikely. Okay. It's not likely to happen. Now, these are the two that we're probably the most linked to right now, right? So we got this news a couple days ago, right? An approach from Aston Villa for, yeah, I'll take the shout out. Approach from Aston Villa for Nicolas Jackson would immediately trigger a bid for Chelsea for Morgan Rodgers. So now the issue with this is, right? I think this is the bigger issue. Eze is a cheat code. The one thing that I would say takes away a bit of the Eze news for me personally is, one, when I look at Eze's age, he's out of the age bracket that we go for, right? And then this news just dropping. You feel me? Talking about a big salary, right? The release cost has to be paid in a single payment. I think Eze's out of the picture. You feel me? I think Eze's out of the picture. I think the two players that we need to look at, you feel me, is Morgan Rodgers, and we need to look at Xavi Simons. These are the two players that I think are going to be the next attacking player that we get in before the end of the window. Forrest Orr can hold it. I agree. I ain't gonna lie. I want Forrest to get Europa. I mean, Forrest. I want Palace to get Europa, so Forrest get conference, bro. I need that. I need that. Real talk. And hashtag need that. Anyways, besides the point. So these are the two that we've seen. Now, me personally, because like, you know, there's pros and cons here. There's pros and cons. You feel me? So I would say the pros on the Morgan Rodgers side, right? I think when we look at Morgan Rodgers, he's prem proven, right? And you know, people are saying, oh, why does that matter? Because with all due respect, I would say I haven't seen Xavi Simons, right? But one of the negatives that I will put talking about Xavi Simons, right? Like I said, all due respect, I haven't seen him, but we do know that there's a bit of a tax when we speak about players going from the Bundesliga to the Prem. You know, there's been of a, you know, a bit of an issue with that. So again, I've seen Morgan Rodgers. He seems like a good player. I wouldn't, you know, I wouldn't mind. Rodgers hype guy can only carry the ball. Again, I think he can do more than just carry the ball. I think he's a good passer. I think he's good in those half spaces. I think if you have a, you know, Rodgers as the left 10, Palmer as the right 10, you could cook. That's a bit of a headache for defenses. You know, he's a good player. Yo, CA Mafia, what up, man? So what I'm saying is this, right? I think in terms of pros, you got Morgan Rogers pros. He fits what we want, right? So in terms of the fit that we need for the team, he fits. You feel me? He's a good attacking threat, right? In this double 10 system that Maresca has been playing since the Club World Cup, he would fit to a T, right? He'd basically be the Nkunku replacement, right? So that's a positive. Now on to the negatives is that Aston Villa don't want to let him go, so he would cost a lot of money. He would cost a lot of money in order for us to buy him, right? I would say that that's definitely a negative. We would be paying a hefty tax, right? Because you could say Prem proven, right? The homegrown tax, England international, you can keep adding on, is going to be a very expensive deal. For me, that's what I'm looking at. And I agree with this. I think Rogers more than just like carries a ball guy, right? Yo, Skynet, big up, bro. Lightweight and Leipzig PTZ is real, right? So then onto the positives for Xavi Simons. Again, I do think positionally he's a fit for the left 10 role, right? Positionally he's a fit. Another positive, by the way, is the price. If we can get 56 million pounds for him, like that is, I'm looking at in terms of what the club is looking like. That's a positive, right? You look at, and then for the negative, I'll say is I don't trust Bundesliga attacking players coming to Chelsea. It's not like we've had, a great recent track record of that. So that's something that I'm looking at that might be, right? That gives me, reason to pause. Can run left wing and have Cucurella overlapping. We can do that with both fullbacks, Rogers and left wing either, and we're not playing Palmer right wing every game. That's what I'm saying. But in the system that we have, I think both of them could play on the wings. I think both of them could play on the wings, or they could play as a double 10, depending on what Maresca wants to do. Simmons is overrated, looks good on the eyes with flashy dribbles. When you watch him, he's very ineffective, similar to Felix. See, that's my thing, is I have not watched enough of Xavi Simons to comment on that brother. I can't really speak on him one way or the other, right? But you ask me for preference, I would prefer Rogers to Xavi Simons, because I think Rogers, I've watched him play. I think he's a good player. I think he's already played in the Prem, so I don't have any questions about whether or not he can do it in the Prem, right? I think he did good in the UCL. When I look at the PSG game, right? I think he did. So I'm not too worried. I see Jackson going to Villa. That's what I'm saying. So again, this is what this says here, right? If Villa tried to approach for Nicolas Jackson, we would bid for Morgan Rogers. Maybe 50 minutes, so good offset. That's what I'm saying. But it depends. It depends on who leaves. Because if Nkunku leaves, right, we make good money. If Felix moves on, we make good money. I think with Morgan Rogers, I don't think there's any risk that anybody comes to snatch him at the end of the window. I think Xavi Simons is our backup plan, and there is a risk somebody could take him, right? So if we miss out on Morgan Rogers, we have to see what happens with that. Creativity, Rogers gives me more PMP, so it's what style we're looking for. I hear that. Again, I haven't seen Xavi Simons. People are saying he's a creative player, bro. I can't really speak on it because I haven't seen him play. So Maresca's going from touchline wingers to inverted 10s. But you know what it is, CA Mafia? When you look at the way that we have been playing, yes, we had. That's why you have seen Nkunku play and you've seen Palmer play, and they've taken up those double 10 positions, and we've had Gusto or Cucurella, depending on the attack, right, playing as overlapping fullbacks, and then the wingers kind of tuck in as inside forwards. That's what we saw in the Club World Cup, and the system worked. It looked good. That's why Nkunku looked good in a couple games that he played. Rogers over Simons, ball carrying, scoring, needs a proven commodity, which makes us closer to the title. I agree. For me, Rogers is the clear favorite. If you ask me personally, that's the way that I look at it. For me, Rogers is my number one. The only issue with that, Banana, is I think it was reported that UEFA are going to be looking at us sideways because of the deals that we have done. You feel me? So we need to be careful with that. Yeah, see, UEFA has warned Chelsea and Aston Villa on inflated player swap deals, and has told both clubs they will be looking at any future deals closely. So we have to be careful with that, right? In terms of the player swap. According to Patty, I agree, it is Paul Winstanley, but that's what I'm saying. We need to take Paul Winstanley and lock him in the basement for the rest of the transfer window so we can stop getting the Garnacho links. Unites not so much for Premier League, and for Roger, he fits both Champions League and Premier League because of physicality. I agree. I think Rogers is my number one. I dislike the idea where I was looking to buy. Connie is a perfect fit for the playstyle. Simmons is a way better passer than Rogers. Hey, Adam, what's good, bro? Masia trained. Rogers going to learn the hard way. He can't PMP his way through a low block. Simmons is a better version of Joao Felix with less flash. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, you guys are giving your opinions. I haven't seen the player. I know I've watched almost 0 games of Xavi Simons, respectfully, bro. So just we can use both systems. That's what I'm saying. So next season, we're going to have the 2 systems, right? We're going to have the systems where we have the touchline wingers with Neto and Gittins, right? I think those are going to be our touchline wingers. We have Neto and Gittins. And then when we want to play with inside forwards, you have you have the Xavi Simons and the Rodgers, and you have the Palmer. And I think that's another way, potentially in the future, we could see Palmer and Esteva playing, right? If we do the double 10s. Yeah, remember to like up if you haven't and sub if you haven't. I appreciate it. And yo, shout out everybody for all the love that you guys have shown to the vlog I made for the Club World Cup reacting to the final. I think it's on like 12K views right now. That's insane. So shout out everybody for showing love to that. But I think we can even get both. I don't think we're getting both, bro. I just don't see a world where we get both, because neither of them are touchline wingers. Both of them are both of them play for the same position. I don't think we would see it happen, bro. You if main look at Kelly and Matson deal, yeah, but now they're gonna say, for example, like if we want to, we'll give you this price for Jackson if you give us this price for Rodgers. And even though it might not be their market price, we did it for PSR reasons, they're gonna look at us sideways. So we have to be careful. I don't think Garnacho's a smokescreen. When you look at everything it says, Chelsea still appreciate on the player. Chelsea still, have Garnacho on the list. Like, it hasn't gone past anything other than just like he's on the list. Player that go for Rodgers, they'd be taking a risk with Simmons. He's technical, some might say more than Rodgers, but unproven in the Prem. I'd go for Rodgers. I agree, man. Like, you're not gonna catch me disagreeing with that. For me, Rodgers is number one. Is number one. I just wanted to get everybody's thoughts on Xavi Simons, because me personally, I haven't seen him, right? So when we talk about Rodgers, for me, that's number one. How much, and this will be my question to the chat. How much of a drop-off is between Morgan Rodgers and Xavi Simons? That's my question, because I have not seen Xavi Simons play. Putting Rodgers 10, Palmer right wing, draw 9. I like that. And that's a possibility. Again, I don't know. I don't know if Xavi Simons has played left wing. I don't even really, I don't know how that would work in the Prem, but we'll see, bro. It doesn't look like he'd handle the physicality of the Prem. See, Adam, that's what I'm saying. That's, for me, that's one of the negatives, is that when I say Prem proven, it doesn't necessarily mean that they just played in the Prem. That I've seen, like, they can handle a certain level of physicality. The 10 wing and 10 in Maresca versatility and style of play. Potentially. It's minimum 80 million, double that for pure profit. So we want to help a Champions League rival like that. And that's another thing to consider, right? That's another thing to consider. That, and you could put that in the negatives list for Morgan Rodgers. Someone has more defensive attributes, PMP, than Joao, less flashy. That's what you guys are saying. Thoughts on Jackson's going to United? Banana, we'll get onto that a bit later, bro. We'll get onto that a bit later. 10 infielders. We can't play with wingers and inside forwards. No, we won't play with wingers, bro. We won't play with wingers. So what will happen is, players will start on they'll start on the wing, and then when we're actually attacking, the fullbacks are gonna bomb forward, overlapping, and then the wingers will tuck in. You feel me? That's pretty much what's gonna happen. I think Rodgers suits his best. He'd be our best ball carrier. He can play in the 10 when Palmer needs rest. I agree, Adam. I think for me, that's the ideal, right? Rodgers is definitely number one. Simmons, Rodgers, again, we'll speak about that in a bit. I think we'll see. Out of a 10, from an 8 minus 4. Okay. It's close. I watched both. The physicality talk makes no sense. You get used to it. But it is much less riskier, but again, it is much more expensive, right? So I'm just looking at it the way that the club might look at it. Because me personally, you already know, I prefer Rodgers. I think I just prefer Rodgers over Xavi Simons, but we'll see. True. Good passer because his stats suggest otherwise. I mean, people are saying that Morgan Rodgers is a good passer. Again, I think he is a good passer. I don't think he's a terrible passer. He's definitely not like a creative 10, right? We're not going to get Palmer level passing from him, but he's a good ball progressor, bro. Yo, big up Morning Zombie. Big up Michelle. I didn't realize you went live. Yeah, bro, I've been live. Yeah, smash the likes and subscribe, people. Smash the likes. Isn't as good as link up play. He's more of a ball carrier, bro. Would be Yildiz, but yeah, no, Yildiz is signing a new contract, bro. Like, we got to give it up with Yildiz, man. Our best option. I don't know if I agree with this. I still think Morgan Rodgers is the best option when he's on B. It's certainly a drop-off. Simmons is higher risk and goes missing in games. Watched him in the Euros and was very ineffective in most of his games. Rodgers, even at a higher price, is less risky. Yeah, no. Rodgers isn't risky because of the price. I know he's quality. The thing is, it is a negative in terms of the price, and we're, giving Villa money to potentially fortify, right, and be a better team. So that's something that we definitely have to look at. Yeah, I think that's a consideration, right? Because for Villa, that would be pure profit. So I don't want Jackson to go United. I don't care where Jackson goes. I don't think he's ever going to be enough to where we're like, oh, damn, we shouldn't have let him go. Xavi's a highly technical midfielder that is more of a scorer than a creator, which is fine. The way you play, Simmons is a better fit. If Odegaard can handle Premier League, Simmons should. Yeah, Nkunku Link's going quiet. Maybe he's staying. We'll speak about that. I do think Nkunku leaves, though. Hey, big up, man. Big up Rich Money Makers, man. Big up the legend. Don't listen to the Garnacho. It's what Stanley only wants him, but man, like Jackson, everybody hit the like, subscribe. It's free in 6 seconds. Yup, can't trust RB Leipzig again. To be honest, that's my biggest point, though. I don't know. I don't know if we're doing this, bro. That's for me. That's one of the negatives that I said earlier. Is when we look at our track record buying from the Bundesliga, I'm not necessarily moved. I don't think it's amazing. If Jackson leaves, we will have to cover left wing, center mid, and also another traditional 9. So who do you think we get since it will be 2 players? If Jackson leaves, we already have the Lap as a traditional 9 and Joao Pedro as the more link up 9, right? So that's already 2 for that position. Left wing, we would have Gittins and Neto can also cover on the left at times, right? So I think we're set on the left wing. I'm not really worried about the left wing, to be honest. 60 maximum? No, I think he costs around 80, and I don't think that's necessarily crazy. Like I said before, like I don't think that that's out of pocket just because of the fact that when we're looking at Prem proven, it's not like we have a big selection. Just he's financially impossible right now. That's what I'm saying. I don't see it happening. I do think Xavi Simons is probably the most likely, especially since, like I said, we got this Eze news earlier today, right? That Eze wants a big salary and the release clause needs to be paid in a single payment. So I think that the Eze deal is out of here. I think that that's finished, bro. I'm be with you guys. I think that that's finished for now. He tuned our system way more. Morgan Rogers' ball carrying is more important than the link up because he has enough to keep up, but we need that carry for the team since he's not good enough. Yep. You'll understand. Well, that's what I'm saying. I haven't watched even highlights and I haven't watched this game, so I can't really sit here and tell you Xavi Simons is a bum or Xavi Simons, is potential to be world class. I haven't really seen him like that. That's my issue. I have not seen him like that. So again, I do think that this is Adam. I agree with you. I think that right now, I'm gonna be rude with you. There's no way we get Rodgers unless Villa come in for Nicolas Jackson. That's about it. So I think okay, so let me put you guys this. All right. Let me put you guys this. I think the scenario will move like this. So this is what's going to happen. We're going to get, all right, this is what's going to happen. If Watkins goes to United, right, then I think Villa could potentially come in for Jackson. And if Villa go in for Jackson, then in that case, we go in for Rodgers. So that's the way that potentially we can get Rodgers. That's a scenario I could see where we get Rodgers. You feel me? That's a scenario I could see. Yes, sir, Adam. You already know, man. We're very good. We need to do our signings fast so they can adapt to the coach system for the league. I'll say the good thing, Emmanuel, is that we have gotten most of the signings through the door. You feel me? Most of the signings are through the door. This will probably be the last attacking signing that we see, right? Because the other one is going to be left back cover for Cucurella, right? Maybe a center back, a goalkeeper, etc., etc. It probably won't take too long to bed them in. But I think the one more attacking player doesn't worry me. It's outrageous, especially as one good season in the Prem. That's what I'm saying. 80 million, and it'll be pure profit for Aston Villa. It'll solve a lot of their PSR issues. Like, that's definitely negative. That's definitely something we have to consider. It was wouldn't call him weak. There you go. For his age. I have a feeling Chelsea are trying to hijack Gyökeres. Nah, we're not hijacking Gyökeres, bro. It's over. We're not going in for another striker, man. We're not. Only Werner not suited in the Premier League. Being pressed, progression is very good and is versatile. We'll see, man. Like I said, I haven't seen him. I haven't seen enough. Maybe I have to go do more research. I have to go see more videos about how potentially Xavi Simons could fit into our system, how it would be in the Prem. Like I said before, the one thing I agree with you, Morning Zombie, is I think that this is definitely for the price, right? It's a more digestible price than Rodgers, bro. I'll say that much. Came from the Bundesliga. Fair enough. Xavi work rate is so underrated. He's such a good player. You know what I think it is, JJ and CM Moffat? I think because a lot of people haven't seen him, and a lot of people are probably more excited about the prospect of Rodgers than Xavi Simons. So, like I said, there's definitely a Bundesliga and an RB Leipzig tax, right? There's a bit of PTSD from there. Premier League to a level. He's on the uprise when they're dying with a brain. He's just like Joao Pedro, more of a natural 10. We need a backup for Cucurella. I agree. That's what I'm saying. That's definitely going to be the priorities moving forward. But it is what it is, man. Season 80 minutes for him is way more of a risk. I just really hope we don't get Garnacho. No. I think I think that's dead. I'm not too worried about it. Go for another striker. Nah, if Jackson leaves, we're not going for another striker, bro. If Jackson leaves, we're not going for another striker. I highly doubt we're going for another striker, bro. 2 strikers that are of a high enough level is more than enough, bro. Give me Xavi Simons as well. He defends a lot. That's fine. Like I'm not worried about again his defensive worker because I think our defense is good enough. What I would be more worried about, right, is the attacking, bro. Well, good, bro. For all that, let's just get Xavi in ASAP. No, I mean, again, I do think that if you ask me today, right, the 20th, what is more likely? I think we see Xavi Simons into Chelsea more than Morgan Rogers. I really do think the fact that we are linked to Morgan Rogers, the fact that we got linked to Eze, even though today, right, the Eze links died. The fact that we were linked to Eze, the fact that we're linked to Xavi Simons as much, I think the reason that this is happening is because we see that Morgan Rogers is probably going to be impossible. That's what I think it is. And if that's the case, we could definitely do worse than Xavi Simons. And another positive, right, for everybody as well. If we get Xavi Simons, that makes Garnacho even less likely, bro. No, I agree, JJ. I said the price for me is fine. I'm not. The price is probably one of the best aspect of this for me. The price of the Xavi Simons deal is the best aspect for me. I agree. That's what I'm saying. I don't mind the price. That's why I'm not worried about the price. I'm not tripping on it. I think that's fine. Yo, big up Common Sensei. Better than Eze. I don't know, man. I think Eze is good, but he's older and he wants a lot of money, so it's definitely not happening. It's not about Bundesliga players being banned in the Prem in general. It's more about Chelsea track record with Bundesliga signings. That's my point. That's my point, Banana. It's not that these signings don't work, right? Like you look at like Marmouche, for example, in a recent example. It's just that when we sign from the Bundesliga, it doesn't tend to end well for us, bro, especially with attackers. Similar to the lap. Hey, up the price on Enzo so Perez doesn't buy him. We don't need to up the price. Enzo's not going anywhere, and y'all moving like free agents, bro. So we're good. We target the left wing /10. Yep. Yeah. Simmons is going to be our last attacker, bro. No way. That's what I'm saying, bro. I'd like whoever we get. If we do get Xavi Simons, that's Garnacho links dead, bro. If I also get Xavi, I would be worried. Yeah, we'll see, bro. I definitely prefer him to, to come to Chelsea, but Perez don't want no Enzo. Xavi Simons finishing is very good. Not high XG, but very high goal count compared to others. Attacking mids like words. You know what we could do? Here. You know what we could do? What is the player comparison, bro? Where is the player here, bro? Let's compare them. Let's compare them. Why not, bro? Let's compare them. All right, bro. Give me Xavi Simons. All right, give me Xavi Simons and give me Morgan Rogers, bro. Because I don't know much about either of them. I actually changed my mind. Xavi Simons is more versatile. I don't think he'll turn into another Nkunku to versatility and won't be helping any rivals. That's fair enough, Mo. See, that's what I'm down here to change my mind because I don't know anything about Xavi Simons. People are saying he's trash. I can't say that. I've not seen him, bro. He's looking for. I know he's definitely looking for Enzo, right? You saw her looking for that, but you guys aren't gonna be able to afford him. Xavi Simons, but lefties. Kendry loan already confirmed. Yeah, Kendry's already off to Strasbourg. That's 100%. Yes, sir. Axel. Yeah, man, it's great, bro. We live in life, bro. Play games instead of made before Netherlands where you can play everywhere. All right, more dangerous. Okay. I don't know about Rodrigo, bro. I don't know about Rodrigo. I'm gonna be real with you. The thing with Rodrigo is I'm questioning his mentality now. That's my thing. Okay. Data and FB ref. Yeah, we could do per 90. Yeah. Yo, the Atletico Madrid fan. What up, bro? I heard y'all were looking for Veiga. How do you feel about that, bro? No, there isn't Nkunku links. Why do you keep saying there's no Nkunku links? There isn't Nkunku links. We can do FB ref, bro. I don't mind, man. All right, man. Give me Xavi Simons, man. All right. Okay, bro. All right, let's see, bro. So here, you know what we could do? We could do this. So this is Xavi Simons, right? Let me get this down here. Now over here on this one, I can get ref. I can get Morgan Rogers, bro. All right, bet Morgan Rogers, bro. All right, man. So this way we can compare both of them, bro. All right, give me all comms, bro. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. So this is a comparison, bro. Let's see. I'll take Chilwell over Veiga any day. Damn. Any news on Hato? None. Zero. That's incredible. I wouldn't mind, bro. No, I don't think. I think he'll be a regular sub mode, but I already said this. If he's good enough, he'll earn his starting spot, just like Palmer did, bro. Because we know we're not a charity. I'm too surprised he didn't work out at Chelsea. You know what it is, Common Sensei? He didn't want to stay at Chelsea, and once you ask for a loan, once you ask for a move away, you're not gonna be brought back into the squad. The system is completely different to what he's used to, and we're in squad with the amount of space we find. But bro, Xavi Simons has, let's see, better and non-penalty goals in the 78th percentile, right? So Morgan Rogers, in terms of goals, not that much. Better assists, you feel me? Let's see, passes attempted. Yo, see, Morgan Rogers' passing stats is not great, bro. Xavi Simons definitely has more passing. He has better progressive carries too. Gotta remember, right? You gotta keep in mind the league as well. But Xavi Simons also has better defensive. He also has aerials one, which is kind of crazy. That's not bad, bro. That's not bad. Yeah, I mean, Xavi Simons looks like he's better. Again, I haven't seen the player, so all I can go off is a bit of the stats. But pressing with Caicedo behind him would be filthy, though. I hear it, bro. Like I said, I from what I see from Morgan Rogers, you know, I would love to see what we could do with him, because I think Morgan Rogers is a good player. I think it fits the squad. You feel me? Yeah, I mean, like these passing stats for Morgan Rogers are poor, bro. You can't lie, they're poor. Xavi's price is 56, bro. Oh yeah, you guys got Richard Rios. Congrats on that, bro. Congrats on that, man. Look at the passing. Yeah, bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I ain't gonna lie, man. The passing ain't looking good for that brother. All right, let's view complete scouting report. Yeah, get this on my screen. Thank you. All right. All right, because when we go look at goals, let's see, look at goals. Yeah, close this. All right, when we look at goals, Xavi Simons definitely has better goal return. Hold up. This is hold up. No, my bad. Shooting. There we go. All right. Better goals, better shots on target. Target, yep. Just like I told people, 100% for Simons, got the money coming in. Oh yeah, we have a ton of money, bro. I'm not worried, man. I'm not worried. Was it get at Chelsea? Yeah, you know what it said? You know what I said, Real Gems? I said in recent history. That was my caveat. I said in recent history. You feel me? The passing alone is putting me off. Rogers overperformed a lot. That might be a good point. He's the main guy. Fofana, Leon needs sales on. Yeah, but Malik Fofana, it looks like Malik Fofana was going to be if we didn't get Gittins, but we got Gittins as more of the touchline winger. We're now looking for more of that left sided 10, bro. Making it 156 a week. Yep. These cost at 100 million too. Nice, bro. Nice. Much better. Conor Gallagher. Paris Tielemans. Oh, 56 ain't bad. Last remember. Yeah, so here's a report. See? They're hoping to agree a fee of 56 million pounds, which is not bad. That's not bad at all. 3 players, I think. I waited on my guy, Felix. Now, yeah, listen, man. We'll send you Felix back, bro. Don't worry. Felix is coming home. All right, so this is the shooting. Expected non-penalty goals. Bro, I mean, this is good. These are good stats from Xavi Simons. I can't lie, man. And this is where it gets ugly. This is really where it gets ugly for this brother Morgan Rogers, bro. I can't lie. This is stinky. Morgan Rogers fans in the chat, defend this, bro. Look at his progressive passes. Yep. I agree though. We do need good passers. And this is not good, bro. I ain't gonna lie. So like Morgan Rogers defenders, step up, bro. Let's talk, man. Xavi can play the ends role if he's not available. Absolutely must bring. That is rough. Yeah, like this is bad. Like, hold on. Let me move out the way a bit. There, okay. I moved out the way a bit. This is not good, brother. Like, this is not looking good, bro. I ain't gonna lie, but that's what I'm saying, bro. He helped to win us the Champions League. How great he performed is debatable. Yeah, I hear it. I hear it, man. I hear it, real gems. Those are center back passing stats. You're not. I don't know how to explain that. To be honest with you, that's what I'm saying, Adam. I can't lie, bro. Like I was a Morgan Rogers defender. You feel me? But this is bad, bro. Like it's not even yellow, man. But Lucas, like even then, right? This doesn't tell the full story. But all red on passing stats. Lucas, how do you defend this though? That's my thing. All red on the passing stats. There's not even a single yellow. Like all reds, not even a yellow, not even like a little gray. That's what I'm saying, bro. For 80 M's with these passing stats, I don't know, brother. For 80 M's. So then we had crazy lapses, but pretty sure gonna say the dagger twice. This season get us found out. If we don't tighten up in some areas. Nah, we'll be fine, bro. I'm not worried about that. Not going away. We'll speak about that right after this section. We'll go into the outgoing news, bro. I'm not, but all some numbers are obviously showing a bad pattern. That's what I'm saying, bro. Cole had better passing stats than him. Off him, especially when he's a 10. But that's my point, though. Like for a 10, I would accept even a couple yellows, but all reds, bro. All reds. Who has more goals and assists? No, I get it. That's why I didn't even really look at. I didn't even really gas, for example, the goals. Right, he's a higher goal percentage and stuff. But this doesn't matter to me, right? Because the goals and things like this, it doesn't matter to me because he's in an easier league, so I can't really rate that, right? Like I can't really speak about that. When we talk about passing, right? Which this is when we talk about creativity, right? When we want from the left 10, this is what worries me is the reds. I'm not hyping up the Xavi Simons greens. He's gonna have green. He's in a way easier league. But let's not act like Villa was playing counterattacking against every single team. There's a lot of teams in the Prem that played a lot more low blocks that gave Villa a lot of possession. Villa was not going band for band with Everton. You feel me? Like Villa were way more of a respected side this season in the league. They were not. They were facing low blocks, bro. They were. What PMP? What do you prefer, RSM? Well, now I'm worried, right? Because if we're going for Rodgers for the 10 position, I need better passing stats from a 10. like I need the better passing stats, brother. I can't lie, bro. That's what I'm trying to understand. Like me, I always prefer IQ and tech. You feel me? Because I don't think Palmer has crazy PMP, but his technicality and his IQ and the way he uses his body is really, really good. No, he doesn't, bro. He doesn't. But to be fair, Banana, very few people in the world place the pass as perfectly as Palmer would have in that final. So thank you, Adam. That's my issue. Is how low the percentages really are, bro. We can do data MB, bro. We can do data MB. Different but easier. But you know what it is? That's why I don't look at the goals. Because the goals in the other leagues, I don't really look at. But I do look at the passing and the creativity because that translates well. That's why you look at somebody like Wirtz and you know Wirtz is gonna cook because the creativity and the passing can translate to between leagues. You feel me? Yeah, Adam, that's what I'm saying. Me personally, I watch Rodgers, and you could go earlier in the stream, and I said, you know what, Rodgers is my number one. You feel me? But this is bad. I never knew that the passing stats were this bad for him, bro. Again, I still think Rodgers is a good player. I don't think he's a complete bum, but this is definitely not, encouraging for somebody we potentially are looking to play in a 10 role. All right, so you said data MB, right? Somebody said data MB. Okay, let's do it, bro. Let's do data MB, man. Let's run it. Midfielders. Okay. Is Xavi Simons not in the mid? Oh, yeah, why would he in the midfields, bro? Like, do they have attacking? Right? It'd probably be like, where? So what, would he be in wingers? Oh, attacking midfielders. There you go. He'd love to be here then. All right. Can you give me Simons, please, bro? Xavi Simons. There you go. All right. Rodgers. Okay, there you go. Hold up. Let me move this. Let me just full screen for you guys. There you go. Yeah, here you go, bro. So progressive carries, Simons is better, but that makes sense because Villa are definitely facing a bit more low blocks. Dribbles completed, 66, 54. Okay, non-penalty goals. Yeah, again, I'm not really looking at this because a bit of an easier league. Okay, assists. The assists are around the same. Key passes, Morgan Rodgers actually has more key passes, right? Crosses makes sense because Morgan Rogers plays more centrally, and obviously Rogers has more minutes than Xavi Simons. Who do you think will be our next signing? That's a good question. I don't know. No, make accept it. I hear it, Adam. I hear it. I told you people are gonna have PTSD about signing from RB Leipzig and signing from the Bundesliga. Like regardless of whether Xavi Simons would, if he comes in, this is what's this is kind of where we're at with the situation. All right. So that's that. That's something to think about. All right, boys. That's something we got to consider. Something to think about. You feel me? Something to keep in mind. That's just something to keep in mind. Simons is great finishing. Yep. So that's just something to keep in mind. That's it. This is the end of the section on Xavi Simons, Eze, Rogers. This is just something to keep in mind. I will watch more Xavi Simons and I'll make up my mind. I will return. I'll let you know what I think. You feel me? I'll let y'all know what I think. But obviously, we have to speak of outgoings, bro. We have to speak of outgoings. And this is big news right here, brothers. This right here is big news. Manchester United have held talks. This is the keyword, by the way, right here. I'm going to highlight it. This is the keyword right here. You see that word right there? Do you see that word right there? That word right there. Held talks. This isn't appreciated. This isn't is looking at. This isn't considering. This is have held talks with. Held talks with is big, bro. Held talks with is big, bro. That's massive. Yep. Like Adam said, that's big, bro. That's big. When we talk about things actually moving forward, that's important. However, right, people are crashing about this, right? Worth noting, Chelsea have interest in Garnacho, right? Notice the difference. Have interest in, appreciate, right? But yet, we have not held talks. We have not held talks. We have not asked. We have not inquired about Garnacho's situation. Nothing. They're only saying window shopping. And we have it on good authority. We have it on good authority that a big reason why is when Stanley wants Garnacho, everybody else doesn't. The coach doesn't want him, right? Stewart doesn't want him. Joe Shields doesn't want him. So I'm not too worried about that, bro. But this is the big news. Held talks, bro. Held talks is massive. If it said we held talks for Garnacho, I'd start crashing out. If we heard held talks for Garnacho, I'm crashing out, bro. But Adam, that's my point. This is what they're going to tell United. Nico Jackson came to us when we were 12th and brought us to 6th and 4th, right? He brought us from 12th to 4th in 2 seasons. You guys are in a similar position that we were in, right? Jackson may never be the striker who can win you the league, but he is a striker who can take you from bottom mid-table to back in the top 4 or top 6. And that's going to be a selling point that we are going to give to United. So that's what I'll say about this. I'm not too worried about Garnacho. But Nico out of here, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Nico out of here. So again, Chelsea are still showing an appreciation. That means nothing, bro. Appreciation versus held talks. I know which I prefer, bro. I know which one is more serious. Okay. So this is another thing, right? It's time for Chelsea to focus on some outgoings. So when people ask me who's going to be our next signing, we're going to be focusing on outgoings, right? Renato Veiga has interest from Bayern or other clubs. Chelsea really like Xavi Simons, but focus on outgoings at the moment. And that's what it's going to be. And there's another thing right here. Chelsea have informed Manchester United on conditions of deal for Nicolas Jackson. So Chelsea informed United on the conditions for Nicolas Jackson, right? And then we get the news later that Man United then held talks with Nicolas Jackson's representative. You feel me? So that's 1-2, bro. That's the 1-2 punch. I don't know. I'm kind of scared. Calma, bro. Calma. I don't think it's happening. I don't think it's happening. Because there's no way we get in Xavi Simons and a Garnacho. I don't see it happening, right? Chelsea modern Xavi Simons, right? Et cetera, et cetera. So I'm not too worried. Let me see if I can get the Nkunku news. Hold on. Let's see if we can get the Nkunku news, bro. Because that's really what I want to find is the Nkunku news, bro. Because That's something that we need to take a look at, bro. Nkunku. So I think this is definitely the latest. So here you go. 1 second. Yeah, Gusto isn't leaving, bro. Gusto ain't leaving. He had a really, really good No, Jackson has a lot of years left on his deal. But United's probably gonna want to buy him, and we're probably gonna want to sell him. I don't know. I don't think that we're gonna want to loan him. So it says, all right, here we go. So it says if Chelsea sold Jackson and Nkunku, then you can maybe see Chelsea pivot back to someone like Benjamin Sesko, even though they ruled them out before, because they may feel like they need 2 out and out proper number 9s. But this was on the 17th, right? That was on the 17th. And then we got the news like the day, we got the news a day later, right? That we're in the race for Xavi Simons. Chelsea see Simons as a potential replacement for Nkunku, bro. For Nkunku. So I do think the fact that we're looking at Xavi Simons means that we have the feeling that Nkunku is going to be moved on, right? Because if Nkunku isn't moved on, then he does fit the archetype, right? That we want in a left-sided 10. So he has a possibility to still fit within that system, right? And that would work. But Jackson leaving, I'm calm, bro. Jackson leaving, I'm calm about. I'm not worried, bro. All right, I'm not worried, bro. For reduced fee, but you know what it is though. I don't think that's what's gonna happen because I don't think we'd be willing to buy him, bro. I highly doubt that we'd be willing to buy him. By the way, I highly doubt that we'd be willing to buy him. That's for me. That's what gives me a bit of calm. So by the way, this also came out from Simon Phillips today, just so you guys know. Arsenal are interested in signing Simons, but our sources have heard they're focusing on Eze. But if they cannot get that over the line, then Simons is the backup. Sources feel Chelsea could have come in and snapped Simons up by the time that happens anyway. So this one is certainly brewing up and all connected. Further to this, our sources have heard that Simons would love to join Chelsea this window, so there would be no problem on the player side, right? Chelsea expected to make more inquiries on Simons this week. So again, this is why I'm not worried. I do think that Nkunku is most likely set to leave. Again, we have the links, where they're looking at Bayern Munich, and obviously this is something that we have to keep in mind as well, because when we look at Nkunku and we look at the fact that Musiala got injured, right? Nkunku could be a potential backup, could be somebody that they're looking at. So I'm not too worried. Nkunku could go maybe like United, right? He gets some interest from Bayern Munich. We'll see. But if Nkunku doesn't leave, then I don't think we get Xavi Simons. I will say that much, by the way. I will say that much. If we get Garnacho for 25 M's, I honestly don't care. But you know what it is? Why I don't want to buy Garnacho for 25 M's? Because if we buy Garnacho for 25 M's, because he is from Man United's academy, that on their books, we basically just gave them $50 million, bro. That's the issue. If we get Garnacho around 30 million, then we're paying 30 million, but on the books for United, that's 60 million. That's why I don't like that. That's why I don't like that deal. That's why I don't like that deal. Some United players, when they leave Man United, they literally turn into different players. Yeah, but I'd rather not take the risk, bro. I'm be real with you. We have so many better players that we could be going in for. I'm be real with you. Yeah, Clout, he won't be hard to move. I can see him doing well as a 10 under Amram. He could go United, right? He could go Bayern Munich. I do agree. I think we are going to try our hardest to move on from him, right? But you know what it is with Malik Fofana? We're not going to get Malik Fofana because we already got Gittins, bro. And we're looking at a left-sided 10. We're looking at a left-sided 10, bro. So I don't think that that's what's going to happen, by the way. I really don't. For me, one of the things that I'm worried about is the left back cover, bro. Is the left back position. Let me see if there's any news, bro. Like that, for me, hold up. Where was it, bro? Because I think we are still looking for Hato, but I don't know how that's going to happen, bro. I don't necessarily see how that's going to happen. So 40 million pounds could be possible for Hato. And Chelsea made fresh contact. Ajax right now are asking for something like 60 million pounds. 60 million pounds for the Cucurella backup is very expensive, boys. I'm not lying. You're not getting Jackson. Like, Jackson is definitely top 3 on their list for potential strikers. He is. I don't know why they're coping. But like I said before, if Jackson goes United, then we probably get Xavi Simons. If Ollie Watkins goes to United, then we'll see what we have to do with Jackson, bro. His attitude issues, he will demand to start. Yep, that's why I don't want him, bro. I don't want him. Well, Charlie should left back, but it will not be Hato. That's what I'm thinking. I don't think we're probably gonna know who the left back is, bro. It might be like a Veiga level signing, right? Where we're like, who is this brother? That might be it might be the same thing, bro. What about the Hato deal? That's what we're speaking about right now, man. That's what's on screen. We're talking about the Hato deal at the moment, man. Many competitions. Yeah, no chance. Probably Bayern Munich as Musiala is injured. Yep. No way Ajax will sell that to anyone else. I agree, bro. I think it's super expensive, bro. No, I don't think we're gonna take any more players from Strasbourg, bro. We already took away Petrovic from them. Where we took away Santos, we took away Sar. I don't think we're gonna be taking any more players away from Strasbourg, bro. There's no left back link other than Hato. That's exactly my point. He's the only one we're linked to, and that worries me. Like clearly, we are going to have to get in a replacement left back for Cucurella. It is impossible for us to do that to him again, bro. It would be malpractice for us to do that again. It would be absolute malpractice for us to do that back in. Want to go back in for Hincapié? Brother, I'm telling you, I've been, if you go back to my past transfer streams, every time we speak about center back, every time we speak about left back cover, I always bring up Hincapié. He is the best solution. He'll cost like maybe around 50 million pounds. I would say he is world class. I would say he's world class. Me personally, I would say he has a potential to be world class. I think he's amazing. Amazing center back, aerially dominant, good on the ball. And when he plays left back, he has the ability to bomb forward. You feel me? He has the ability to put in crosses. He's a threat on set pieces. For me, that would be the best possible signing. I think that Hato is, from what I've heard, right? He's good. He is very good. The one thing that worries me is the price. 60 million for a backup left back is very expensive, bro. Very expensive. I agree. We need to save him. I said that as soon as they got pumped by Flamengo, I was like, bro, please save my guy, man. Don't let Erik ten Hag, ruin my brother's career. It's too much for a backup for sure. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think it's too much, bro. Like, it's too much. Man, August Imo, hopefully. The only thing with this Supinyan is if he gets offered United, he might get the starting position. So we'll see. The back there has been no link at all. I do think we get a center back. I do think, but like I said, like was said earlier, I think we are currently focused at the moment. At the moment, we are currently focused on moving players on. We're currently focused on outgoings. I think Disasi got linked to like Neom FC for like literally 1 hour, and then he pulled up his comps and we're like, yeah, you know what? Never mind. So that was hilarious. Yeah, I don't know why we're not in for him. Like, I really don't understand why not, but it is what it is. I think the only reason we're not in for him is because he'd want to be a starter. And I think these sporting directors are still under the delusion that like we are going to have Fofana fit for the majority of the season. So here we are, bro. This is what we're stuck with. LCB left back hybrid. Yep. So I think Hato would be good, but I think Hincapié is the best possible answer for this. That's in my opinion, bro. In my opinion. They did see the video. They saw him on the bike. They saw him running uphill. They saw his performance for Aston Villa. Yo, Link, big up, man. Feeling he will be forced out. I think Jackson does want to stay because clearly the club is going to keep winning things, right? And he definitely got a boost with UCL football. So we'll see. But if we want to move him on, like he'll be moved on. Nah, you know what it is, Morning Zombie? I still think that we're not going to get Xavi Simons until we see some outgoings. I'm going to be real with you, bro. I think Xavi Simons is one to watch. I would be very surprised if it advanced that quickly and next week we get him signed. I think this will be one that goes until the end of the window. So there was for later in the window. Yo, happy Sunday. I appreciate it, man. I hope you're enjoying your Sunday as well, bro. But yeah, I think that's all the news, bro. I think that's all the news for now. I'm definitely gonna be doing another stream on Wednesday, but potentially that stream might not be about transfer news. If there's not any transfer news, I won't do a transfer news stream, bro. Simmons wants to leave. He does. That's what I'm saying. He got the new agent. He wants to leave. I'm not too worried about it. If we want him, I'm sure we'll be able to get him. The price isn't anything crazy. The player wants to come to Chelsea. Yeah, exactly. We need to get rid. Yeah, I know it'll be quick, right? It'll be quick, but I don't think it'll be. But you know what it is? When Zombie Eze was never our number one target. Eze was the backup to Rodgers. Xavi Simons is the backup to Rodgers. If we get near the end of the window and we look like Rodgers is not going to move or it's going to be impossible, we'll get Xavi Simons then. I would be surprised if we get it done within the week, though. That will really surprise me. That will really surprise me. I'm not gonna lie. But apparently his agent is linked to Mbali somehow. Everybody's linked to Mbali, bro. It's crazy. Lose tomorrow. IMO. We'll see. We'll see. But again, I will be doing another stream on Wednesday. Wednesday I'll be doing another stream. It might just be a chill stream. It literally might just be, you know, I'm gonna put a topic on screen. I'm gaming in the background, and we'll talk and we'll discuss. You feel me? We gotta have a whole discussion. Who we think is getting relegated, etc., etc. Because I do expect the transfer news to not advance that much from Sunday to Wednesday. I don't think it's gonna be some massive gap all of a sudden from Sunday to Wednesday. So we'll see what happens. If there is news, then we'll talk about the news a lot more in depth on Wednesday. I just don't see it happening. So I'm not too worried about it right now. But yeah, listen, we have 38 people in here and 35 likes. That's a W. I appreciate it. If you haven't hit the like button though, like. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. It's free. Costs you nothing. But listen, I appreciate everybody for tuning into this stream, man. I really do. W for everybody tuning into this stream. It was just a quick 1 hour stream. You know what I'm saying? Every day that I'm free, that I'm not working, that I'm not busy, I always try to do more streams. So again, next stream 100% is going to be on Wednesday. Keep it again. Follow me on Twitter. If you have not followed me on Twitter, please. That is where I post every single time I'm on a stream. I'm gonna update. Number two, and another amazing way to get into contact is joining the Discord. I'm gonna drop the Discord right now in the chat. Listen, if you guys want to join the Discord, that's probably the best way to be able to interact with me. By the way, if you go right now to the Discord, I'll show you guys on screen on the Discord, bro. I'm always interacting in the general chat. Anybody who talks in the general chat, I am responding. So here's the Discord. Join if you haven't. Follow me on Twitter if you haven't. Thank you very much, everybody. Yeah, take care, man. I appreciate it. Much love to everybody. Peace, peace, peace. Take care, y'all. I hope you have a good end of your weekend. I'm gonna catch y'all next time on Wednesday. Like I said, follow the Twitter, join the Discord. There will be updates for that. Take care, y'all. Much love. I'm gonna catch y'all next time. Peace, everybody. Peace. See you. Up to Chelsea, man. World champs, baby. World champs.